7, Section 5, Division Properties of Exponents. Dividing powers with the same base. Subtract the exponents. An example of this would be if you have a to the m divided by a to the n, that would be a to the m minus n. A cannot be 0. The reason why a could not be 0 is because you cannot divide a number by 0, it would be undefined. So a being in the denominator and 0 would not work. But for any number other than 0, this would be true. So you're always going to take the top exponent and subtract the exponent from the denominator. So it will always be, like in this case, it would always be m minus n. You would never switch them and do n minus m. What is the simplified form of each expression? A, we have c to the 12th divided by c to the 9th. These both have the base of c, so we're going to leave that alone and we're going to subtract 12 minus 9. Well, 12 minus 9 is 3, so my final answer would be c to the 3rd power. In example B, we have a to the 4th times b to the 8th divided by a to the 6th times b to the 3rd. Notice in this case, we have like terms we have a to the 4th on top, a to the 6th on the bottom, and then we also have like terms, or the same base, b to the 8th over b cubed. So what I'm going to do is I can combine my a's and combine my b's. It would be a to the 4 minus 6th power, and then b to the 8 minus 3rd power. When we subtract these, we're going to get a to the negative 2nd times b to the positive 5th. The whole entire chapter, chapter 7, we don't want to have a negative exponent, so we need to bring a to the negative 2 down below and send it to the denominator under b to the 5th. So my final answer is b to the 5th over a squared. This example says the population of Pennsylvania is about 1.24 times 10 to the 7th. The population of North Dakota is about 6.4 times 10 to the 5th. About how many times greater is the population of Pennsylvania than North Dakota? In order to answer this problem, I need to divide the population of Pennsylvania by the population of North Dakota. Very similar to how we multiplied numbers in scientific notation. To divide numbers in scientific notation, we're going to go ahead and divide our first numbers, in this case 1.24 divided by 6.4, and then we're going to use the exponent rules to combine our 10 to a powers, which in this case would be 10 to the 7th and 10 to the 5th. So breaking this up, I would have 1.24 divided by 6.4, and then I would multiply that by 10 to the 7th divided by 10 to the 5th. Well, 1.24 divided by 6.4 is 0.19375. And then using my exponent rules, I would multiply by 10 to the 7 minus 5, which is 2. This number is not in scientific notation, and actually to answer this question, I'm not going to put it into scientific notation because it said about how many times greater is the population of Pennsylvania than North Dakota. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply that, or I'm going to answer this with just a whole number. So in this case, I would have Pennsylvania's population is about 19 times greater than North Dakota's. To raise a quotient to a power. In order to raise a quotient or a division problem to a power, you're going to raise the numerator and the denominator to the power and simplify. This example says, what is the simplified form of w to the 5th divided by 4, all in parentheses, cubed? What I need to do is I need to distribute the 3, the cubed, to both the numerator and the denominator, and then in this case I would have a power to a power on top, so I would need to multiply w to the 5 times 3, which would be 15, and then go ahead and simplify 4 cubed. 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64, so in this case my answer would be A. This next example says, what is the simplified form of 3c cubed divided by d to the 4th and all to the negative 4th power? Go ahead and distribute your -4 to the numerator and the denominator. In this case, I would have a product to a power in the numerator, 3 times c cubed, and then all raised to the -4th power. And then on the bottom, I would have a power to a power. So when I distribute this, I would have 3 to the -4th, c to the -12th, divided by d to the -8th. Notice all of these have negative exponents. What I need to do is I need to take the negative exponents or negative powers in the numerator and send them to the denominator, and take the negative exponents from the denominator and send them up to the numerator. So basically in this case, for this example, I'm just going to have to flip everything, which would be d to the 8th over 3 to the 4th, c to the 12th. Well, 3 to the 4th can be simplified, so I'm not quite done yet. 3 to the 4th simplifies to 81. So my final answer would be d to the 8th over 81c to the 12th. Today's assignment is on page 471. It's numbers 1 through 6 and 8 through 46 even.